Riderflex Nation, Steve Urban here with more career advice and job interviewing tips for you. And as a quick reminder, if you enjoy our podcast, please remember to subscribe to our channel and like the episodes. And on today's podcast, don't you just want to turn email off sometimes? I want to talk about coaching or counseling people with an email. I really believe, and I've learned this over the years after supervising people for 30 years, it's best to talk to them in person about their behavior or what you want them to improve in person before you send an email. Lots of times today, I see supervisors trying to hide behind email when they're sending something to one of their direct reports, the people they supervise. They try to hide behind email and they send it out and they say, "Hey, Mary, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, you need to improve this, you need to improve that." And then Mary she kind of imagines her own tone to the email and she gets super upset. And then there's this big drama between the two. If the supervisor would have just called Mary, or even better, got Mary in person, face to face, and just talked it through, it would have gone so much smoother. It's always best to talk to your direct reports or your team members in person, and if not in person, over the phone about what's bothering you as a supervisor or what they need to improve. Always talk to them verbally first. Then you can use an email to document the conversation if you want to. You can send a nice note afterwards and say, "Hey, Johnny, as we discussed today in person, just wanted to follow up here. Make sure you do X, Y, and Z." Then Johnny's not surprised. He already knows. You already talked about it. Johnny's not offended. All you're doing is sending an email so that you and Johnny can refer back to it later if there's any questions. So do me a favor. If you're in a leadership role, never send an email first when you're trying to correct, counsel, or improve somebody. Always talk to them in person or over the phone first. And there is your Riderflex tip of the day. We truly hope you find our material helpful and entertaining. And while our podcast can be heard across most platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, YouTube, and SoundCloud, you can become a supporter of this podcast by visiting our show on the platform Anchor FM. That's anchor.fm/Riderflex. You can also send us your questions or suggested topics for future episodes to the email address podcast@riderflex.com, or drop us a voicemail at 888-964-5876, extension 710. Visit riderflex.com to learn more about us. Thanks so much for listening, folks, and have a great day.